Anyway, that was just my sister calling for something she could have texted. So I typically start out by brushing my teeth, and what I do with the toothbrush is I exfoliate my lips with it, and then I put on some Carmex lip stuff. You can tell I'm really good at this whole narrative thing. Basically what I use is a bunch of drugstore products. I don't use MAC, I don't use Estee Lauder, I don't use Makeup Forever HD, I don't use all that stuff, the list goes on. Mostly because I think sometimes the drugstore stuff is better, because I've tried Estee Lauder and they literally do not have my color. They just, I don't know if maybe they don't know that people my skin tone exists. I don't know what it is, but I went through them so many times and they're just not getting it. So I start out with I try not to do my eyebrows first, because when I do my foundation it gets weird. So I start out with, what do I start out with? I could start out with my eyeshadow, because if you start out with your eyeshadow, you can clean it up later. If you get like stuff on the edges of your eyes, you go out too far, or you make too much of a mess, you can clean it up later with foundation and concealer, which we'll get into in a second, or maybe not a second, maybe a bunch of seconds. So I use Maybelline's makeup, the Nudes, and I also have the Rock Nudes. I love the Rock personally more than the Nudes. That's me though. And I start out with basically this shade right here. Hi Amy, what's going on, chick? You always look beautiful. You don't need to watch this, just exit out. You look great. And then I use an E.L.F. I mean, it's just a blending brush. That's all it is. And I need to do this with a mirror. It's just a blending brush, it's nothing special. Like I said, I use everything that anybody else can afford. I don't, you won't see me in Sephora every other week on payday. Yeah, you can just do whatever kind of eye look that you want. I try to go for natural. And then I'm going to grab this shade right here. Kind of the chocolate one. And I'm trying to do this in natural lighting so you guys could kind of see it better. Let me know if this works. First time, yo. Put it in the outer crease. Don't go crazy with it, because you don't want to mess up that. Basically what the first shade that we had, Amy, basically the first shade that we had was a transition shade. And you don't want to completely color that out. Holly, what's going on, girl? You look pretty. All you guys do. I'm sick of y'all. All natural and looking gorgeous. Kidding, I'm kidding. So that's what you do. You bring in that shade. I kind of use my fingers to blend it out a little bit. You won't see me doing anything fancy. And then the last shade, I lied, the second to last shade I use is the darkest one, which is right above the black. Or if you go in the Rock the Nudes palette, you can use either the darkest brown, or you can use the two black ones. If you buy this one, don't use the, I don't know what you would call it. It's the non-glittery one, because it doesn't like give you that much color. So I use it just for like light kind of, I was going for black but not really looks. But if you want black, then use the glittery one. But the thing with that palette is it has a lot of fallout, so that's why I'm doing eyeshadow first, so you can clean it up if necessary. which I try not to do a lot of fallout because I didn't bring a rag with me or any kind of cleanup material, so go Brooke. It's a lot better if you do it in natural lighting, because if you do it in artificial light, then your makeup will only look good in artificial light. If you do it in natural lighting, your makeup will look good in natural and artificial light. So just a little tip that I learned the hard way. If you have a clean blending brush, if you went out and bought one of those because you just want to buy some brushes, use a clean one and blend out all your makeup, because once you get finished using the super dark shade, what I'm going to do is just wipe off the brush, namely on my pants leg, but you guys won't see that, and blend out the edges. Don't blend out the color, just blend out the edges. Just use your finger if you have to, because that's what I do. And then, like, it's really quick, and then I use my Rock the Nudes palette, and I go for the white one, but because these palettes are like $8, and you only have this one, I use the lightest one right here. You can use that one, it's right above the gold, which you can use the gold to put on your eyelid if you want for that extra, but I'm not going to do that today because I'm not going anywhere. And I'm just going to use the white and put it right below my eyebrow for that highlight, so you don't look so, there's a bunch of brown up there. You want it to even out, have a pop of color, make your eyebrows look like they're the stuff, even though mine haven't been done in like 4 weeks. Okay, eyes are done. Not really, because I use liquid liner, and I know that scares a lot of people off. You can use gel, you can use pencil, you can use black eyeshadow with a eyebrow brush, which looks like, I think mine's Milani. I don't know, this stuff has been forever. I don't go shopping for makeup too much, but it looks like this. It's got a tip where it's angled, and you can use that, take some black eyeshadow and go over your lash line. Really, you can do whatever you want. You can get away with it, because even if you smudge it out, it'll still look really good. Smoky, sultry. I try to go for the black eyeliner all the time. I can't go a day without black eyeliner. I use Wet n Wild H2O, and I use waterproof makeup whenever I can. It's because I laugh a lot, and whenever I laugh I cry because it's just funny, and I don't want my makeup to run because it'll just like start patching off and it'll annoy me and I have to go redo it even if it's 7 o'clock at night. You know, I don't want my makeup off until I want it off. So some of that stuff is just hilarious. Like, some of the stuff that you guys say is just funny. But anyway, it's got a felt tip. It doesn't move. It doesn't move. It's not a brush. It's a felt tip. And wipe off some of the excess on the edges. I start out on the outer corner, thicken it up to where I want it to be, and then I'll bring it over, kind of thin it out a little bit as you get to the inner corner, because you don't want it to be too thick. Alright, we're not going for the panda look, we're going for the Maybelline commercials look. Even though this isn't Maybelline, it's Wet n Wild, but and what I do is I don't dip it back in, I just kind of go sideways with it and just go under. It's called tight lining. You go under your lashes with it and you darken, just like you would wet your waterline with a pencil. You do the same thing with the upper, so that way the whole thing is black and you're not showing any skin color. Because I talk a lot, I had to re-wet my brush, but typically I don't. I just start with the wing. Go straight out. I try to go like towards the edge of the end of my eyebrow. Now, any other day I would get this right, but because you guys are watching, I'm going to get it completely wrong and do the other side. Try to make the same side, the other side look exactly like the other one, obviously, but even if you get it wrong, which I probably will, it'll be a good time to show you how I make it look like that's what I intended to do. I don't know if everybody knows this, I just figured it out. So do the other side exactly like you did the right side. Okay, so I didn't mess it up. That's because I said I wouldn't. But anyway, I would use, if I did, I would use the, I'm going to do it anyway, the black couple of eyeshadows right here. And I got eyeliner in my eye. And just go on the outer edges. That's all you got to do. I'm going to use the one that I told you wasn't very good. The pale black, not the glittery one, the pale one. Dip your brush in there. Don't swirl it around. Dip. Go on the outer edges where the wing is. Make sure your stuff is dry though, because you don't want to smear your eyeliner. That's the worst thing in the world. You're perfect, Holly. You slay better than any eyeliner. And then if you want to make it darker, go in with a glittery eyeshadow and just kind of go over your wing, because the inners will be better than the outers, if that makes sense. Just go over the out with the black eyeshadow. Oof. I know y'all were waiting for me to mess up on that liquid liner. Then just kind of wipe your brush off. Don't get any extra product on it. Go out, I'll go on the outer edges, blend it out. Blend, 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 blend. Blend, make sure everything looks fine. And your eyes are officially done. Like literally there's something in my eye. Alright. Put away your palettes. If you have some coffee, now's the time to get some. B. That stands for my first name, guys. Anyway. And then make sure, if you have any excess on these parts, wipe it off, because you don't want to get your makeup mixed in with them, because it'll throw it way off and then you have to start it over, and that's just a waste of makeup. Especially if you're using what I'm using, which is the Loreal Infallible. This is like $13. And for some of us, that's like buying high-end, and I know what that life is like. I use the L'Oreal Infallible. I would compare this to MAC because of the coverage, not because of the color. I have a yellow undertone, and you can tell because, well, you can't tell because I'm white today, but your veins will be green. Or if you're any color like mine, I mean, I'm like this weird, awkward yellow, you would use 105. I use 105, and in the summer I use 106 because I just naturally get darker. And I like the glow, and I also use 105 or 205. 105 for the non-glow and 205 for the glow. Mix them, you can use them however you want, just make sure they're the same color. Today I'm going to use the Infallible Pro Matte because I want to look matte today. And you can use your fingers, you can use a sponge, you can use whatever you want to use. A cotton ball. I don't recommend a cotton ball, but you can use it if you want to. I use the E.L.F. powder brush. It's going to say powder brush on it. It's going to look not like that. It's going to look a lot cleaner, but this is what it looks like. It's really soft when it's not used. And then you just kind of apply your makeup. I put it on the top of my brush, and I put like a lot because I'm out of my mind in the mornings. And then just dab it on. And you're going to understand why we didn't do our eyebrows in a minute, because this stuff can get all over the place. So you just blend it out with your, like you're painting, because you're painting. That's all. Blend it out on your neck. Don't just go with the face because it's going to look weird. I've already done it for you. Don't try it. Go around your, if you have on Carmex, I mean, it'll probably slide off, but go around your lips. Make sure you don't miss any of that. You don't want to have any skin showing around your lips. And then don't forget, close to your ear, you don't want patches of makeup to show around your ear or skin. Do the hairline. Hairline is important. And this, I can already tell, probably won't be enough. I'm gonna go in for a second layer because I'm breaking out. You ladies know why. You guys figure it out, but I'm breaking out this week. So blend, 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 blend. That's 95% of my life. I'm gonna go in with the Pro Glow, but if you don't have a Pro Glow because nobody has $30 to spend on foundation, go in with this again. You don't need that much. Just go in again on the spots that you need it. Don't go in on your whole face because nobody likes a cake face or the look of it. It's when your makeup gets cakey and you can tell soon after you do your makeup that you put on 52 layers. So I just put it on my brush like I do. The Pro Glow is a lot more creamier than the Pro Matte. So be careful. Don't do too much like I just did. I'm making all these mistakes for you, so you should look great by the time you're done. I know, Holly, you have no idea how real the struggle is right now. Blend it out, blend it out, blend it out. That's all you gotta do. You can use your fingers too, like I said. You can use a sponge. Personally, you get more coverage with a sponge than you do with a brush. A brush will, depending on which kind you get, you can't just use any brush, by the way. You can't just go with one that says, who's hitting the smiley faces emojis? You can't just go with the any old foundation brush because it'll be streaky. You can't just go with one that says foundation. You have to go with a dense. And what I mean by dense, it's got a lot of synthetic hair on it. You can't just go with, you know, one that's, you know, flat, or you can, but you got to get one that works for you. If you go with one that just says, this is a foundation brush, use it, you could be spending money and not even like it. And you can't even return it unless you clean it. So now that we look officially like we're dead, we're gonna go and I use, it's an age rewind, this side is in French, eraser. I don't care for it. I don't like the little thing, you have to twist it in order to use it, and it's, come on guys, you should have thought about this. You can use the Pro-Fit Maybelline, you can use the Rimmel concealer. I don't like the Rimmel, but you can use that. That one's got good coverage. You can use the E.L.F. concealer. I hate the coverage of it. I really do. But a lot of you are lighter than me, and you might really like it, but it just doesn't work for me. It turns my skin pink instead of what this one does, which will just use a pale cream. Put it under your eyes like so. Not too close, no injuries, no blindness, because then how are you going to see the end result if you blind yourself? Look like that, take a picture, send it to your crush, he'll love it. And then I use my fingers. I use my cleanish fingers and blend it out. Just tap excessively, just tap like you're trying to get the Wi-Fi to connect under your eyes. I typically go up to my lash line. Don't get on your wings, alright? Because then you're not going to redo it. On your eyeliner wings. Blend out the edges. I do this part without looking because that's just how I'm used to doing it. Whether I had 50 mirrors, I would still do it without looking. Blend it out. I go under my nose. I don't really have a reason, but I do it. Holly, you've been laughing at me the whole time. I'm not sure I appreciate it. I'm just kidding. Blend it out really good because you don't want it, we're going to put powder on this later and you don't want the powder to clump up on it. You want it to be really smooth and easy to work with. See how we're slowly transforming our face with just a little bit of concealer? A lot of people put concealer right here, down the very center bridge of their nose. On their, it's called a Cupid's bow. It's the little U on your lip. They put the concealer right there, and on their chin, which is called the T-zone. So if I say T-zone, you know what I'm talking about. Concealer, then we do, what else do we do? Oh, eyebrows. I just had my eyebrow brush, I just showed you guys. I use the thing that I told you, and then I will go in with, I have a new routine that I use. You'll see E.L.F. a lot because E.L.F. is very affordable. Holly, E.L.F. is very affordable. I'm not just telling you to use it. Plus they've got their own sharpeners that they come with. I mean, who can say no to that? A little E.L.F. thing. I use the one that's called Coffee. And we all know why. I use the one called Coffee. And then you gotta press lightly because it can be very dark if you press hard, and then you have to start all over, and then you're gonna have your foundation weird and it's just gonna look weird. So you start very lightly on the edges of your eyebrows, just on the edges. Don't go in the center, don't try to fill them in, don't try to go all the way over, just where they are naturally. Just go over the edges of them lightly, not too light, otherwise you're gonna be here all day. Personally, I have all day. Some people don't. I mean, I have all day today. Just go over the edges of them. And then once you do that, like I said, lightly, then take your little angle brush and then fill it in. Just fill in the center, and then I'll guide you on how to do the rest. Just fill in the center. Kind of go out a little bit because that's just how I do it. I just kind of go out. It makes your eyebrows look longer. It makes your face just kind of... And then in the center, you kind of want to feather it out towards your nose, because the closer that you take it in towards your nose, the thinner your nose will look. If you keep it more separated, the wider your nose will look. I don't know how to contour. Confession, I don't know how to contour my nose. I just don't want to, so I never learned how to do it. But the closer you feather in your eyebrows. Don't add any extra product, by the way. The pencil that you have on there, just work with it. The color will drag inward. One eyebrow done, one more to go. Clean off your brush, and then do the exact same thing to the other eye, or other eyebrow. This is how you shape them. This is how you get them to look how you want. Especially if you're like me and you get your eyebrows waxed like every 6 years. Some people thread their eyebrows. I mean, hats off to them. I don't know how to... Bye, Holly. I don't know how to withstand that kind of pain. But you do the same thing to the other eye. You fill them in. Drag the color inward. Amy, you're back. You've been so quiet. And they should kind of look like this. If you don't get them exactly symmetrical, exactly miracle or mirrored, don't worry about it. Don't have a cow. It's supposed to. There's Michelle Phan, she's like super into makeup and she's like this beauty guru of all gurus. She said that your eyebrows should look like sisters, not twins. So that's the motto I live by. I use, for the rest of my face, I'll wrap it up, I promise, but for the rest of the face, I use the Wet n Wild contouring palette. This one is Caramel Toffee, and I have a sponge. Yes, I do have a sponge that I use. It's just a regular $1.49. You can get 100 in a pack sponge. And then I take like the end of it, not the thick part, the thin part. Put it in the cream color part, put it under your eyes. Like I said, I'm doing this without a mirror. Mostly because I want to see how crazy I can look, I guess. I don't know. I'm using the phone right now. Put it under your eyes. Just kind of pat it under there. Don't smear it, please. Don't smear it. You don't want your stuff to be patchy. Let's do the same thing to the other eye. And then you should look like, kind of like that. I use another E.L.F. powder brush. It's the exact same. It's the exact same powder brush that you use for your face, but I use a different one. That's another one, and then I go in with the Loreal Infallible Pro Matte. This one is in color 300. You can use any kind of setting powder that you want. Bye, Amy. Have fun in the snow. I remember the snow. You can use any kind of setting powder that you want. Make sure it's your color, otherwise you're going to ruin your whole face if you use the wrong color setting powder. This one can be a little bit pricey, but I saved up, so because I'm poor. So use whichever setting powder that works for you, whether it's the same one, whether it's cheaper. I know Rimmel has one that's really good. It's like mega, and it's supposed to be really good. But I just kind of swirl it around in my powder, you know, just be liberal. Dot it all over your face. That's all you gotta do. all over your forehead, and then lightly brush under your eyes to kind of get rid of the severity of the cream color that you just put under there, because I put a lot and you just don't want it to be too intense. Do the same thing for the other side. Lightly, lightly. Same thing. Blend, don't forget to blend. Alright. Contour. Use that same foundation brush that you had a little bit ago. Go in with that same palette, the dark side. Use as much contour as you want, but start out small. Don't start out huge, because you know, just start out a little bit and then gradually progress. I start right underneath the line of my highlight, whatever you call it, I forget what you call it, this part, the line right here, but just a little bit under. It's kind of like that line that you have right there, kind of like from the top of your ear down, just to kind of give you a guide. And then I just kind of dot it in. I really need a mirror. Dot it in, straight line. Don't go too close to your lip, because otherwise you'll look weird. Just kind of like have that 2 or 3 finger rule. You know, you don't want to go past that. I'm running out of contour, so that's why I keep going back for more. Definitely don't want to miss your hairline. Thank you, Amy. You're beautiful too. So was the family and the children's. Your hairline, forehead, all of that. And then just your jawline, because you don't want to make your face, you don't want to kind of blend everything down to your neck, so you're just kind of like one flesh. You just kind of want to, like, this is my face right here, so this is how you chisel it out right on your jawline, and do the same thing to the other side. So like I said, hairline, forehead deal. Jawline, don't blend, just jawline. And then you can bring the remaining down so it's not weird. You don't have that harsh line, just chisel it out. Y'all know how to do that? Y'all are good at this. And then I just go for, at this point, I will do my waterline, and then a lip, and then you're done. If I can find my eyeliner, because I'm so organized, I can just find it whenever I want to. Like I said, I use the Wet n Wild one. No, I don't use the Wet n Wild one, I lied. It's the E.L.F. one, but this time I'm using the Wet n Wild one because I can't find my E.L.F. one. I love, oh here it is. I love the E.L.F. It's got the little smudgy thing on the end of it, and it comes with a sharpener too, but I may or may not have lost it. So I just do my waterline. Don't pull down on your eye, because the skin under there is very thin and very fragile, and you don't want to just keep pulling on your eye, and then after a while it'll just start to wear. Just kind of tap it. I've seen some people use a spoon, I've seen some people use a fork, I've seen some people use a Q-tip, yeah, so many things. I'm on Instagram way too much. Eyeliner, and then for today's look, I'm going to do, for today's lip, I would do a red, I did a purple, I did this kind of color yesterday, and then I mixed it in with this on top of it. Might just stay nude, but any kind of lip color that you want to use, go for it. Send me pictures, I want to know. And then I just kind of, don't ask me to do my hair. The most I'll do is kind of brush it out, but I tried to stay away from doing my hair. It's too much. You're asking too much of me to do my hair. Yeah, and then clean up. If you made a huge mess like me, bravo. If you didn't, good for you. Kind of clean it up. Change your clothes if you used your pants leg like I did. Don't walk out the house like that accidentally. Hopefully I went in depth enough and I didn't run my mouth too much. I don't know how long this video is. Somebody tell me how long this video was. I can't tell. I have no idea. But hopefully you guys liked it. If you want me to do anything else, any kind of in-depth, kind of anything routine, I don't use blush, I don't use mascara, I don't use, some people will contour their, or highlight their eyebrows. I don't do that. I don't do a lot of things. But that just proves that you can do whatever you want with makeup and still be happy with it. You don't have to follow an exact rule, an exact procedure. Just do whatever you want to do and just be happy with it. Don't think that you have to use blush. Don't think that you have to use red lipstick. Don't think that you have to use eyeliner. If you don't want to use eyeliner, good. It's going to save you at least 15 minutes in the morning. That's pretty hard to use. It took me like 2 weeks to perfect it. And even now I'm still messing up. But just use whatever kind of makeup you want. And if you don't want to use makeup, don't use it. It'll save you at least 45 minutes in the morning. And you'll still look great. And you'll have an even tan. Because if you wear makeup in the summer, your face is going to look white when you take it off and your whole body's going to be tan. So if you don't want to wear makeup, good for you. So, and besides, none of us were born with makeup on. We still look great. People said we still look cute. So, alright, it's getting awkward. I'll let you guys go. Have a great day. Happy Monday. See you later. I love you all. Bye.